Hello, fitness business owners, and welcome to Fitness Business Secrets. Today, we are going to be talking about building a blueprint so that you can have a seven-figure fitness business empire. If you've never met me before, I was super blessed to scale one facility in Sydney that just did a little bit over $1.4 million a year in revenue. We also had two other clubs that got our revenue up to about $2.6 million a year. But more so over the last couple of years, I've been so blessed to coach multiple seven-figure fitness business owners. Now, what I'm going to do for you today is break down a couple of things that I learned from implementing these strategies myself. Also, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some things that I have learned from other amazing people within the fitness business community who have ran absolutely incredible gyms. So if you want to grow your gym, if you want to maybe have a seven-figure fitness facility one day, if you want to just get up to maybe $500,000 to $700,000 a year in revenue, this episode is going to be really beneficial for you, because even if you don't want to get to seven figures, right, having the systems to get to seven figures is going to help you faster. Now, when you want to create a seven-figure fitness business, guys, the first thing that you really need to master is your marketing. Okay, you need to be able to generate enough leads so that you can scale. Now, our marketing actually evolved a lot over time. So the way that we marketed when we were quite smaller was different to when we were bigger. So when we first started out, we actually used a lot of free-based marketing. Now, some of our favorites were obviously referrals. We got really, really good at asking people at the point of sale, which was in the sales consultation, also at their 21-day mark, member highlights when someone lost like 5, 10, 15 kilos, maybe an attended event. And also we ran a lot of like referral capture events. So say one, for example, we ran was where we gave away a $1,500 flight center voucher. Everyone who referred a friend during that promotion entered the draw to win. And that was just a different way to be able to get referrals. But also, guys, when we started, we had to leverage off our personal list. So we had like our mobile phone, we had a few people on email, we had our Instagram, we had our Facebook, where when we were initially starting out, because we didn't have many members, like I started this fitness business from like 27 members all the way up to 1,200, right? Is what we'll do often is just reach out to people on social media and offer them a free trial to get them started. We didn't do that for like a massive amount of time, just like a year or so, but it helped us get up to about that 127 member mark. But then also we worked a lot within the local community. Okay, we're able to get a lot of referrals off our clients' businesses, which was really, really handy, and also local sporting clubs as well. So we kind of like when we're initially starting, we leveraged a lot of free-based marketing activity, a lot of messaging, posting content, getting out in the local community. And that worked really, really fantastically for us. But then as you kind of get bigger, you want to start to grow potentially a little bit faster. And that's where paid ads came into our world and really, really assist us in growing really quickly. Now, when we were scaling, guys, we would spend $1,000 a week on paid ads. We would always sell people a paid offer. So say, for example, you might spend $1,000 on paid ads. Let's say you get 40 leads, you close 10 of those leads into a $299 6-week transformation challenge. That means you've spent, $1,000 and you've got $2,999 back, right? And that when you do that, guys, you're able to scale by self-liquidating your ad spend. And what that means is the money that you spend on your ad spend, you're getting more than that back from the new customers that sign up over a 7 or 14-day period. And that's how we're able to really turbocharge our growth. That's how we're able to really grow to multiple facilities, and also in this like single facility to be able to close that 20, 30, 40 sales a month. And then as it continued to evolve, guys, we just started to leverage having our team more involved. So we got our trainers to run the referral campaigns. We made sure that we coached them on how to get leads from their personal networks. We made sure that we leveraged sponsorships with local sporting clubs. We had virtual assistants running our paid ads. And we worked with like digital agencies to be able to run our Google ads and things like that to make sure that we were able to generate enough leads. But generating enough leads, guys, gives you a lot of options. Okay, right now, if you're generating 10 leads a week for your business, If you just learn how to double your lead generation to 20 leads, you can essentially double your business, even if all the other strategies I'm going to give you today about sales tactics and profit layers and all that things stay the same, just essentially because you have double the amount of people who are showing interest within inside your fitness business. That's why, guys, when I talk a lot to you guys on these episodes, you'll kind of pick up that I really, really love marketing. And one of the reasons I really, really love marketing, my friends, is because it gave me a lot of opportunities to be able to grow. It gave me a lot of opportunities to be able to build out some of the systems that I'm going to talk to you about. If I didn't invest a lot of time, effort, energy, money learning how to market, I don't think I would be in a position to present to you guys here today. But once you start to master your marketing, we want to make sure when you want to create this seven-figure business that you build your sales systems. And guys, I can understand that this is probably challenging for a lot of you. I know personally, I used to think sales was very, very sleazy. I was not very good at sales. I was not very confident at sales. And thus, the company that I owned was also not very good at sales and not very confident at sales. So how we initially started to build out these systems is step one, we needed a proven system. And that's where mentors can really, really be your shining light in a lot of different areas, because we're able to get a proven system from how to contact our leads, how to text message our leads, how to set up booking links, what to say in a sales consultation, how to upsell in a consultation from someone to do like our, 6-week offer to buying a MyZone belt to buying InBody scans. But we needed initially to get this proven system. Once we were able to get that proven system off a mentor, what initially happened is myself and my business partner got like pretty good at sales. We're really, really confident at selling anyone that kind of came and popped in to meet us. But then we kind of had another issue as we're starting to scale out, where we once went on holidays to a place called Bali. And at the time, me and my business partner, like when we were running it, we were best friends from when we were like kind of 15, and we grew all the way up to owning these gyms. So we actually went traveling together. Now, that was a really amazing trip, but actually something, really, really horrible happened in terms of like wanting to grow a business. We actually closed 0 sales during that holiday. And that actually just showed us the next kind of obstacle that we had to overcome, which you'll need to overcome when creating a 7-figure fitness business, which is how do you get repeatable sales without relying on the owner? And that's where you need to start to have a sales team. Now, that again led us down the actual same journey. Find a mentor who has done it, be able to implement these systems, and then, run the systems with slight deviations to make sure that it suits our business. And within our business, the way that we set it up is we had like 2 main people in our sales team. So we had setters and then we had closers. So our setters would be people like virtual assistants who were DMing people. Also, we did like a lot of, bookings via email. Also, as well, when we got leads off Facebook, our setters would call up those leads, run them through a 5 to 10 minute triage process to get them booked in with the closers. And then we had our closers, which were actually the staff in our business, where they were trained on how to get people started within our programs and also how to convert those people on the front end programs into back end long-term memberships. Now, when you're starting to build out this sales team, guys, something that worked really well for me and a lot of others I've coached is you become the system at the start, right? You learn how to do all of this yourself. And then essentially what you do is you start to get other people, right, to run the system for you. And that's where you're starting to delegate, which is a really important part when creating a 7-figure fitness business. So then we started to delegate it where we had our setters and our closers. And then over time, right, when you're starting to bring on your sales team, my only advice to you guys would be this. Is 1, make sure, guys, that you're doing weekly meetings with your sales team to track what their closing percentage is, what their cash collected, and the results that they're getting, and also plan the upcoming week. But also, guys, there's nothing worse in a business than having an untrained sales team. So when we first kind of brought on our sales team, I was like, why are they not closing at the same level that I was? And when you broke it down, if you guys just think about this small little episode here today, I did trainings with multiple mentors. I did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of consultations. And then I got someone to take over that role where they had not the same levels of training, not the same levels of experience, but I expected them to get the same results, which is kind of foolish when you think about it, right? But these are the things you learn along the way as you're scaling a 7-figure fitness business. So then we started to invest heavily into our staff training. And that's where we'd have daily huddles with our team, would do role plays with our sales reps, would start to record their sales interactions to be able to give them feedback with the goal of having a very, very, very highly trained and highly motivated sales team. One of the things that did work really well for us in terms of creating a 7-figure fitness business is actually having multiple different profit layers. So the way that we built out our gym is we had a group training we had a group training portion of the gym. We also did semi-privates and one-on-one personal training, and that was the predominant amount of what type of training that we did. But that means we could elevate people from paying $45 to $65 a week, up to paying $94 a week, up to paying in excess of $118 per hour for our one-on-one training. So I want you to imagine we had like a big triangle, right? So at the bottom of the triangle, that was our group training, and that's where the most of the members sat. Then what we did is we wanted to upgrade them to a higher level of training, which was semi-private, smaller groups with more customized training, and they could advance their lifts and strength a little bit more to get them to pay $94 a week. And we actually just used a very, very basic puppy dog sale where we gave them a 2-week free trial and then converted off the back. And then at the very top of the pyramid, we had our one-on-one personal training. Now, I was really lucky that when I first got into the fitness industry, I actually started out as a one-on-one personal trainer. So we actually already had these systems kind of all set out, which was like pretty handy. But then we're able to help the 40 plus market, the 50 plus market. And those people were paying us, $118 a week. Maybe they were paying us like upwards of $200-$300. And that was a really great way for our trainers to get a great mix of training with us, where they'll do some group training, some semi-privates, and they'll also do some one-on-one personal training as well. But we didn't stop there, right? Because when you're starting to create a business, we wanted to help people in any way that we could. So a couple of the different profit layers, ways that we generated income and profits, where we had MyZone belts in the facility, which for a group training facility, you can wear it on your ribs, or you can wear it on your arm, and that essentially tracked how many calories people were burning. And we were able to sell these belts for about $179, and at the time we bought them for just a little bit under $100. But a really good way to be able to increase our profits, especially if you have a couple of hundred people a year buying these belts, right? And we also sold people in-body scans. So we had like a scanning device. It was bioimpedance. We actually looked at getting a DEXA scan in our facility, but because of the way that the machine's set up, it actually wasn't safe for us to put it in our facility. So we got an in-body, which was great. Was in-body perfect? No. Was it good enough for our average Joe clients who wanted to lose a bit of body fat to give them a visual metric? It worked absolutely amazingly well for us. And then we're able to sell people in-body scans as well. Then we also added on nutrition and accountability coaching. One of the things that we found over time was like, hey, our clients are training really well, they're getting really good results, but then some people needed more accountability and more nutrition coaching than what we could give them with their current base packages. So we added on another level, which about 10% of our members did, where then we gave them one-on-one nutrition and accountability coaching using a lot of the precision nutrition like ethoses and models, where essentially they would get 3 text messages a week, and then every week or every fortnight, depending how much they paid, they would get a one-on-one nutrition coaching session with one of our trainers. And again, that got amazing results for the people that it was really, really helpful for. And in your market, guys, and in your current business, I'm sure there's a lot of people that might need extra nutrition and accountability coaching. But then also as well, we did international and domestic retreats. Okay. We took people down to the Hunter Valley for 3 and 4 day retreats. And we also ran international retreats to Bali. So you'll see how what we're trying to do with this is have products that our clients need and that will help them reach their goals, which is being healthy and fit for a very long part of their life. So then we're able to add on these different profit layers, and it even went down the line of having, we did children's training in the afternoon. We ran holiday school camps and things like that. And essentially we're able to build these out. So it started to bulletproof our business and increase the customer lifetime value of our clients, which helped us create a seven-figure fitness business. But one of the mistakes that we did make, right, when we were kind of at about 300 to 350 members, there was actually a time where we stepped out a little bit too quickly. We put some managers in place, and we very, very sadly lost about 50 members over a couple of month period. And that's where it really taught me about managing and running a really strong key performance indicators each week, which we call your KPIs. Because what we did when we were growing, we thought everything was a lead generation issue. We're like, hey, if we generate more leads, we'll grow. And yes, it worked, but it didn't work at scale once you get to a certain size. So then what we started to do is use a very basic Google sheet where we tracked how many members we have, how much cash collected, what our leads were, what our sales, what our cancels, what our suspensions were, and a few other pieces of important data. And that really taught me an important lesson. It taught me that I wasn't a professional business owner until I started to track KPIs, because I didn't actually know the health of my business. I didn't know what was going well. I didn't know what was going poorly, and I didn't know where we could improve or where we could double down when things were going absolutely amazingly well. And guys, when you're starting to build out your business, I would definitely start to track your KPIs a little bit earlier than I do, just because I purely think it does make you a better business owner. I know that it did make me a better business owner. But of course, guys, I wouldn't be able to create this episode for you guys unless we did cover some mindset traits. Now, when we're building this seven-figure business, guys, I'm going to give you some of the lowlights just so I can emphasize how important having the right mindset is. In this journey, as I said, we had a time where 50 members left over a couple of month period. We had trainers leave. Sometimes trainers left abruptly, like they went traveling or wanted to change industry. We had a trainer leave who took like 35 hours of one-on-one personal training. He opened a gym just down the road. He actually faked that he had a shoulder injury. And then he essentially opened a gym a couple of days later for a few different reasons. We had issues where our council were trying to kick us out of our facility because of the parking issues. We had our strata complaining about like noise and people walking through car parks, trying to kick us out of our facility. We had cash flow issues at different stages of the business, especially during startup. We moved from like 127 square meter facility to a 550 square meter facility, went through a lot of cash flow issues. We're actually nearly about to go bankrupt there for a bit. I had times where our lead cost was like $180 per lead and I couldn't get it down. So many different issues pop up. And that's why if you do want to have a seven-figure fitness business, your mindset and your consistency and your belief is really, really important. It's where you've got to really focus on your mind. It's like 90% mindset, 10% tactics. Now, the first thing in your mindset, guys, you've got to believe that it's possible. Okay, you've got to really believe that you can have this seven-figure fitness business. And that's why so many people are attracted to different mentors who share what they have done. I know the first mentor that I signed up on, he actually owned 16 gyms at the time and had a multi-million dollar fitness business. But you have to believe that it's possible. And the easiest way for you to believe that it's possible is go find other people just like you who have done what you want to do. Okay. And that's where there's a lot of amazing mentors who can teach you, but you also want to make friends with other people in the fitness industry who are absolutely crushing it. But then you must be willing and able to overcome obstacles. I shared with you guys a couple of obstacles that popped up in, my fitness journey, and they're just the ones that came to the top of mind, right? I'm sure I could make a whole episode on all the dumb shit I've done and all the bad shit that has happened within my business. But you've got to make sure, guys, that you can overcome challenges and obstacles very, very quickly and seamlessly. And that's where having understanding of who you are as a leader, who you are as an entrepreneur, you've got to know what your deepest fears are, why you're driving and growing this business, and then what your life looks like in 3 to 5 years so that you're able to overcome any obstacles or challenges that do get in your way. Now, a couple of things that really, really helped me with my mindset that I just want to share with you guys. So one, I did work with a psychologist for a couple of years. When I kind of grew up, my mum committed suicide as a kid. My dad was a heroin addict. I moved around from house to house. I had a lot of like fear within my life and I had a lot of trust issues. So for me as a leader, when we're creating this seven-figure business, I had to become better as a leader, which means I initially had to become a better individual. I had to understand my deepest biggest fears in life, and I had to know how to overcome some pain that I did go through. But then I also worked with a business mindset coach who helped me a lot. He helped me on how to have a vision for my business, how to know what direction my business is going, what type of leader I wanted to be, how to communicate with staff, how to communicate with clients, how to communicate with business partners, and essentially just how to run a better business. But none of it was tactical. It was more so how I wanted to turn up in the world, which was really, really beneficial. I also really enjoyed writing my goals each day. So what I did is I wrote down a list of all the goals I wanted to achieve, and then I would start to read them. I would write down the top 5 ones each day, and then I would make sure that I read my list. But also the biggest thing on mindset that helped me, guys, is hanging around absolute savages, absolute beasts who are dominating in business, who are dominating in their life, who are dominating with their health and fitness. And that's why I've been so blessed to have so many amazing mentors and so many amazing friends who are doing really, really cool stuff inside their life, which I was able to get great inspiration, which improved my mindset. I do believe, guys, we are who we're around. If you hang around with 5, 7-figure business owners a lot, there's a chance that you're going to be the 6th. If you hang around with 5 people who complain about fuel costs and that inflation's going up and they bitch and complain about everything, there's probably a pretty big chance you'll be the 6th complainer, right? So who you spend time with is really important. And I would get a lot of amazing friends from actually mentorship groups where I would join, because you get to group. There was a group that I was with. There was about 200 gym owners. I'm like, these people are all like me. This is like my tribe. And I was able to make 4 or 5 really great friends from that program. Now, a couple of the operational challenges and bottlenecks that I faced, just so you guys can potentially overcome them on your journey. One of them was actually finding really good staff. Very, very, very difficult for us. So what we always wanted at the start was like really, really highly trained staff who had been in the industry for ages. And one of the things I realized is I'm like, they either have an online business that they're running and they're dominating, or they already have their own gym. So what we had to do is actually create internship programs where we were able to take our trainers from WIMP to Absolute Warrior over a 6-month period. We really had to level up our internal training, where we were able to get someone who just finished outside of their fitness course and turn them into an absolute perfect trainer for our business within 6 months. And that was definitely a challenge for us. Okay, we're constantly, not getting as many applications as we'd like. So then we had to build an external marketing plan to be able to get trainers. And then also as well, just with some of the operational challenges, was actually just like when we started to scale, we realized that, we always had to upgrade our systems along the way. And that's where I started to realize that your business is always broken and it's never where you like fully need it to be. Because at the start, we built out our marketing systems, right? And then we realized our sales systems were shit. Okay, so then we fixed both of those, our marketing and sales systems, and then we realized our retention was poor, right? Then when we got sales, marketing, and retention, then we realized like, holy crap, our operations need to improve because we need more trainers now. We need things done the right way. We need to how to communicate with our staff better. And it was just this constant loop. And I found that challenging for many, many years to understand that where your business is at today. So say if you're doing 250K a year in revenue today, if you build a business that's doing 750K a year in revenue, you're going to have to adjust your marketing, your sales, your retention, and your operations along the way so that you can handle a business that is now essentially triple the size. And then, guys, finally, I just want you to know that if you do want to create a 7-figure fitness business, that I know you can do it. I know that everyone watching or listening to this training can do it. I know that I'm no different to you guys. I left school in year 11. I had like a very, very troubled childhood. I'm not the smartest person that you guys will ever meet. I'm not like a genius by any level, but I hope that it gave you a little bit of understanding into how you can create a 7-figure fitness business. Now, in our next episode, which I'm going to make for you guys over the next couple of days, we're going to be talking about some of the demands, how you can align your team, also how you can differentiate yourself from the competition, also some retention strategies. And then finally, I'm going to give you some advice on a few lessons that I learned along the way as the final part of this episode. If you do have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out to me anytime in social media world. I'm very, very active, especially on like Instagram and Facebook and things like that.